All right, let's go. Yes. Okay, welcome everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to do a writing exercise, which is a half meditation and half writing practice. So you want to be sitting somewhere comfortable where you can let your body be supported by the environment. So you want to have like a support for your back. And then you also want to have a notebook in front of you or some paper and a pen that you know works. So you want to have the capability of going deep into meditation and relaxing so your body is supported, and then coming back out and immediately having access to writing. Words are what brings the formless, abstract part of our mind into the form, into reality. So what I teach my students to do is to have a regular writing practice, a daily writing practice where they empty their thoughts and reflect and listen to themselves on the paper every day, and to build this non-negotiable habit that contains them and organizes them and brings clarity to their minds. When you write, you almost have a friend in yourself. You're there, you're reflecting with yourself, and you have a friend. And I really need that friend and need that support every day to keep myself returning to the effort of being honest and being creative and being seen and pushing my boundaries, so that I can receive more, give more, and receive more. So the first thing that we're going to do is I want you to see yourself as something beyond just a singular I. Like I am, I do, I think things, I am me, I know who I am, etc., etc. I want you to think of yourself as an environment, a system, an ecosystem, if you like, with a lot of different perspectives and contradictions, harmony and disharmony. So you are a system of beings, of memories, of sensations, of impulses, of reactions, of instincts, all trying to cohabit in this environment. So what we want to do is we want the conscious mind to become an explorer, to become an anthropologist, to become a mountain trekker within that environment and just observe. Observe, explore, ask questions, and be led. So the interesting thing about this is that not only are you the explorer, the anthropologist, you are also the system and the environment being explored. So there's this relationship happening between you and you. And we start to see what kind of a relationship is that. So through poetry and through language, we bring clarity to things. We bring light. We bring names to things. What is it actually? And if I stay in that environment and if I stay with this question and I put words to it, what happens to it? What happens to my anger if I stay with it and I ask questions, and without force and without needing things to change, I record the environment of my anger in a lot of detail. I ask it all the questions it needs to unravel. Why is it there? How long has it been there? What kind of an environment? What material is it made out of? Etc., etc. We're going to get to that later. So an anthropologist or an explorer or a mountain trekker doesn't want to change the environment that he or she observes. What they want is to bask in the happening of that environment, want to be a quiet witness, almost in awe of the environment. That's why they're there, because they have respect and care for the environment. Even if awful things or difficult things or painful things are happening there, there is a kind of space holding that we are going for here. what we want to do is we just want to be observers for the sake of understanding and for the sake of clarity. No more. No force. Okay. So that's basically the groundwork. So let me try one more time with this thing. So I want you to get comfortable. I want you to get as comfortable as you can. Feel the support of the environment. Feel the places where your body is touching things. So feel the support of your back. Feel yourself sitting in the presence of the floor, the presence of the chair or the sofa or the bed. Feel the heaviness of your body. You may close your eyes or not. Feel the heaviness and the presence of your body. Like, I am here. I am here. I have arrived. I am arriving. Feel the density of your body. How full and real it is. Feel your bones, like your hip bones, and how grounded they are. How rooted they are. Feel your rib cage. And how it holds and contains your lungs that move with every inhale and exhale. Feel your skin, and perhaps more how things are interacting with your skin. So the places where the fabric of your clothes is touching your skin. Where your hair may be touching your body, or your jewelry may be touching your body. Or feel the temperature of the air in the room. Feel the quality of air in the room. You can even give it a word. What kind of a quality is it? Is it soft? Is it stale? Is it fresh? Is it circulating? Is it still? Is it stagnant? Feel the quality of the air as you sip it by breathing it into your body. You can almost taste what kind of air it is. Open your ears to the sounds. So pay attention to what kind of sounds are in the room. Let yourself stretch to the furthest away sound from you. getting an idea of space. And now come really close to the sounds that are closest to you. From the sound of my voice to other small things very close to your body, maybe even the sound of your body itself. I am here. I am here. I am here. Now, as you sip the air, travel with it inside your body. So it's like you're inhaling yourself inside your body. And now your awareness is within. What kind of big sensations? What is the biggest sensation that you can feel within your body? It may be a pain. It may be a physical sensation like a heat, or your body touching something. But also it might be an energetic presence, an energetic sensation, like a tightness or an excitement, like a fluttering, or what kind of energetic sensations are you feeling inside your body? And travel to the main one. Travel to a sensation that you can notice and spend time there. Just be there with your awareness. And ask, what kind of a sensation is this? Try to put some words to it. Is it sharp? Is it heavy? What kind of a material is it made out of? Is it small and condensed? Is it large? Is it moving? Now let's move to a different area of your body where there isn't a very prominent sensation. So you might go to like your knee or your chin, an area that doesn't get a lot of attention. And spend some time there. And ask yourself the same questions. What kind of sensation is this? What kind of colors are here? What kind of a feeling am I getting? Is there a heaviness here? A lightness? What kind of a mood is there here? If there was a feeling here, what kind of a feeling would it be? What kind of words can you add to this experience? Can you label this experience with? I want you to realize that you're already playing out the explorer and the environment. Your awareness is the explorer, and the sensations that we've been exploring are you as an environment. Now I want you to pull back and feel your whole body as a whole. Feel your environment, feel your body, and feel the bubble of energy that is around your body, your magnetic field. Now I want you to imagine yourself as an environment. It doesn't really matter what kind of an environment you choose. You can use your instinct here. Are you going to be a sea landscape or a forest or a bustling city, or are you going to be a small village, or are you going to be a very small apartment, or are you going to be a teacup? And you can ask yourself, what kind of an environment am I? And let the environment tell you what kind of an environment you are. Now, it's very normal at this stage to also experience a bit of resistance. So you might be getting some hostility from your system, or some hiding, like a reluctance to share, a reluctance to cooperate, a resistance towards me and this exercise, like this is stupid, or I'm not any kind of environment, or I don't want to play this game. This is kind of normal also. This is included in the relationship. So you're getting information about the kind of environment you are and the kind of relationship you have through this reaction. So just be present with that. And now, as you are exploring this environment that you are creating within you, I want you to bring yourself out of it and start writing. So we're going to use the writing as a kind of tool to continue our exploration of the environment that we are. You'll see that once you start to put yourself and this environment into language, that it will start to evolve, and you'll get a better handle of what kind of environment you are by beginning to speak about it. So you can go in and out, observe, write. You can also use the writing to flow. Trust what is coming out. Even if you think that, oh, this is coming from my mind, it doesn't really matter at this stage. Just describe the kind of environment you are. Are you a forest? Does your forest have like clearings and dark places? Does it have stones where underneath creatures that have never seen the light live? Does it have fairies that flicker in the sunlight? Does your environment have variation, is what I'm asking you. Light parts, dark parts. Parts that don't want to be witnessed, and parts that are like divas and they love being witnessed. Describe yourself as an environment. And describe this environment. And for those of you that are getting a lot of resistance, talk about that resistance. Let your environment have a voice. If you're hearing things like, this is stupid, I'm not an environment, or even things like, I'm a desert and that's all there is. Just describe in detail what kind of a desert it is. How long has it been a desert? Has it always been a desert? What kind of big changes have been happening in this environment recently? Has there been any visitors in this environment? Where are you in this environment? Place yourself. If it is a desert, place yourself. What is the relationship? And if there is hostility, give yourself a voice. Give the environment a voice. This is stupid. You haven't been here. You've never been here. Why are you here now? And remember the attitude of an anthropologist who really doesn't want to mess with the environment. They just want to record it. They don't want to change it. They don't want to judge it. They just want to record it. And if you find yourself also being like, oh, I am a monastery and everything is perfect and peaceful, and I'm not making fun of it, I'm just saying, like, if you find yourself in monotony, like in one color, ask yourself, what else? Is there anything hiding? What is around the monastery? What do the monks pray for? Try to find like contrast in a way. Try to find the darkness as well as the light. If you're only in darkness, look for the light also. It doesn't matter if it's 90% darkness, 10% light. So you can continue writing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the subconscious and about poetry. It will also give you time to write. And for those of you that want to listen, you can listen as much as you like. You can mute me and just use the time to write, and then you can come back and listen to it later, because I'll talk a little bit about also my classes and how I work. And then in the end, I'm going to give you some questions that when you answer them, this is what you come to class with. I will ask you the answers of these questions, and that's where we will begin from. So the reason why we begin like this, with these kinds of meditations, has a lot to do with like going around the conscious mind and the stories that we often tell ourselves, even though those stories are often part of our sessions together. And we do deconstruct the stories that we tell ourselves and about our lives. But what I want to hear from, and what poetry addresses first and foremost, is the root of things, the sensitive, vulnerable emotion that comes from this deep place of knowing and intuition that we all have inside us. I really feel like I really enjoy talking to the system, and it often has wisdom so ready to give it to us. There's wisdom so ready and available and we often just let it, we often just don't have a container to listen to it. And what poetry does is that it gives you symbols, metaphors, and a sort of lawless language to express straight from the subconscious. So you can make connections and shift perspectives and shift timelines and go from the past to the future to the present, to being your mother, being yourself, being your future daughter, being inside a teacup, being God, being the stone, being the dust, being the fly, being the blade of grass, being all your ancestors. Like it has the ability to freely move the same way that your subconscious does. So your subconscious isn't laid out in logic. It has free form and lawlessness, and it moves maybe through an instinct and through emotion, perhaps, is what ties things together. Yeah. So what we do is we look for dense areas that haven't seen the light for a long time, for a knot inside yourself, for something that needs clarity, attention, for something that is stuck, for something that is a repetitive pattern or a repetitive problem for you. And we bring clarity to it by bringing language to it. We ask it questions with this same kind of no need to rush or push or change. We just want to understand. So if, for example, there is a lot of anger and a lot of outbursts of anger, or if, for example, there is a repetitive pattern of being in relationships and not being able to receive love, or not being able to be in a relationship with somebody that you feel actually is your partner, let's say, can be your partner. And this is a repetition. Or you have a complicated relationship with one of your parents or with your family. Or you are trying to produce creative work, but you are constantly stuck. That's where we bring clarity and we bring language. So we write poetically about this. We use metaphors. We disentangle all the different elements. Because usually when we have a blockage, there's a lot of different perspectives and memories and emotions that have never had names and have never had sort of like clarity brought to them. And they just create this kind of belief system that is basically a collection of knots, a collection of maybe even contradictions and misinterpretations, etc., etc. So what we bring with language is like, we try to understand what each strand is. What is it made out of? What does it look like? If it were an object, what kind of object would it be? If it were a happening, what kind of happening would it be? And we create a poem out of a knot. Out of the process of disentangling this knot, we create a poem. So, for example, I'll give you a personal example. I have a really complicated relationship with my father. I've had a lot of trauma with my father, and so obviously what was there in my father place inside me and in my relationship with men was all these misinterpretations and feelings and blame and all these emotions that I held, that I collected because I didn't know their name or their place when I was a child. So I began the process of writing a poem about my father. And it becomes a journey of putting names to things. What is this feeling I've always felt about my father? Where does it belong? What kind of metaphors? What kind of an animal is my father, and why? What kind of an animal am I in relationship to my father, and why? What kind of a material is my father? Like, I'll tell you, I was working a lot with dark forests and tar and oil, sticky substances, generational sticky substances, and a wild animal that has no language. So an aghrino, like a goat, like a wild goat that has no language. I'll tell you how a poem has an environment attached to it. So it's like, all you need to do is visit that place, and then the environment will begin to unfold. So it almost has a kind of code, an aesthetic. Like the poem around my father has a lot of dark, gypsy, mystical witch vibes, because I get a lot of that pain and that clarity from my father's side. And so you kind of discover a lot about yourself by being in that environment. It has this little red thread. I'll tell you an interesting thing. So the little red thread is something that I wrote instinctively, like you gave me the start of the little red thread. But you didn't know how to follow it through, and it was my job to sort of learn how to follow it through inward into the magic and the witchcraft of my being. And then later I discovered that gypsies and witches would use red thread to for different kinds of spells or part of their witchcraft. And it's not the conscious mind that does the work, it's the symbolism that does the work. And it's our job to kind of be there, ride the wave, and name things, label things, put things into language. And I cannot tell you how much I cried while making this poem. It was such a catharsis. And then it's written, and it's clean, it's cleared. And then it's like a spell that you can say to yourself over and over and over again. And it helps to clear that passage out. So yeah, this is the kind of work that we do together. If you would like to work with me, the next thing to do would be to get my info pack, which is something that you can get in the link in my bio. You can subscribe to my email list. You will have already subscribed to my email list to get this video. So you will also receive the info pack for how to work with me and what working with me means and what are the terms of our arrangement and how much it costs, etc., etc. It's a very important info pack. You need to read it before you come to class with me, so that we are clear and agreed on the terms of our arrangement. What else? Okay, so that's it. Those are my words. And now, I hope that you have finished your environment and you are satisfied, and you also found out something new and you see the correlation between you and your environment. Now I want you to ask yourself these questions. Number one, what is, oh, it's gone out of my mind. Oh, okay, it's back. What needs my attention right now? So I want you to place yourself within this environment and within the relationship between you and the environment. So I want you to ask the environment this question. What needs my attention right now? And see what happens. See for that quick, instant reaction. It's almost like a flash. You're going to get a flash of a response. It might pull you and take you somewhere. It might show you a part of the environment. It might give you a word or an image, or it might respond to you with resistance. And if it responds to you with resistance, this resistance is what you need, what is most important right now. So what needs my attention right now? Number 2, what is the most important blockage that I would like to work on? Or if that doesn't work, what is the most important blockage that you would like me to work on? Speaking to your environment, that is. What do you need me to work on, basically? And then number 3, what do you need me to know? So, to come to class, you need the answers to these questions. And through these, with the answers to these questions, we're going to work together to find the start of the little red thread, which is the beginning of the knot. And together we're going to untangle, put names to things, make metaphors, immerse ourselves in the environment of this blockage, of this ancestral thing, of whatever it is, of this relationship. We're going to immerse ourselves in this environment with its aesthetics, with its metaphors, with its language, and we're going to bring light to things. We're going to clarify things, put things in their rightful place. And at the end, you will have an artwork, a prayer, a mantra, but more like a spell that will be the journey of this disentangling. And whenever you need to remember it, you can say it to yourself. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I've had fun. Thank you for being brave. Take care and see you in class.